How you doing, YouTube? This is Stash with a very special speculative vlog today for you. Got some allergies going on. I'm talking about topics outside the normal news space that are routinely covered on people's YouTubes. Highly speculative stuff. Our favorite, Bigfoot. The mounds, burial mounds around the country, UFO sightings, some old school talk about that I'll be drifting through with you. Hope you enjoy. So this is Fortrain stuff. Charles Fort was a collector of anomalies. I think he spent decades in libraries. I think maybe the New York Public Library. I'll have to look that up. Collecting news clippings about, raining frogs, UFO sightings, Bigfoot sightings, the Jersey Devil. Have you been over to the Pine Barrens, New Jersey? I think that's the area where they see the New Jersey Devil. What they talk about, or what guys like Fort talk about, is there's stories that are unacceptable but that people are interested on. As a matter of fact, the Drudge Report ties into it. I have a ton of YouTubes on the Pennsylvania Lights. What's this sighting? There are thousands of hoaxes, but then sometimes you meet people and they have some pretty hardcore stories. What do you think? There is in Salem the Mystery Hill cave that kind of looks like a Stonehenge setup. There's a guy who wrote a book, Wierd America, or the Rebirth of the Great God Pan, which is old school, really forbidden author stuff. That this guy Jim Braden, or I forget his exactly. I'll leave his name in the liner notes, but all his books are unavailable and really expensive, but I had read them long ago, so I'm going from my notes. That there were underneath, or these mounds, earlier structures, that there's ruins, and that the Vikings had been to the United States, maybe even before the Native Americans, that we unfortunately took over, and well, that's another topic. The Native American, the ill treatment of the great indigenous people of the United States area of North America and South America and elsewhere, but that's another topic. I don't know if some archaeologists, they just or people who study this, no, that's it. Those are the Indian mounds, and I kind of think there could be both. Maybe they're mixed in. There's effigy sites, serpent themed stuff, which is the popular David Icke stuff. Do I believe what he's saying? No, but it's not exactly. But it's enjoyable, and he's an interesting guy. What can I say? I get caught with that all the time. You believe in that? I don't know if I believe in that. I like discussing it, though. I like discussing UFOs. The reason why I'm referencing this old school material is because I think it's not out there as much. But I don't know if he's been on Coast to Coast AM, that guy that I'm talking about. But anyway, I like the idea of books that's hard to get. Also, Paranoia magazine covers a lot of that cool stuff. I hope to be maybe even resurrecting or hooking up with some of those guys. I've got YouTubes of Adam Gorightly and other cats that are involved in that. The Absurdist group, the Discordians. I'm a fan of the Subgenius, the Absurdist groups. Never met those cats, but I dig it. I dig the big book of conspiracies. Anyway, as always, I'm drifting. So, let me see if I can. The Temple Mounds, the Ohio. There's the snake ones. Have you guys seen any of this stuff? Let me know. There's allegedly some ancient Roman artifacts here that might have been taken over early with Latin insignias on there. Some Judaic ones. almost referencing Temple of Solomon stuff. I don't know if you guys have checked that out. I've heard of that, like stuff that was here before us. The serpent symbols. Basically, what some of these authors, there's another guy that has an even more forbidden book. I can't remember his name either, but saying that there's the structures, that Stonehenges are older than the pyramids of Egypt. You know, really controversial, the Stonehenge. And these had to do with looking at the stars, celebrating the equinox. I don't know how I feel about pagan, whatever. Am I going to become a pagan? No, but I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I'm just bringing up stuff. So again, some of my sources are really dark. Okay. Brandon talked about the dark axiom. That's a space where you shove these stories away that people don't, that the general media doesn't want to touch, man. Like UFOs, like Bigfoot, like the Yeti. Does it really exist, or is there such an energy put into it? Is there anything to the Whitley Strieber stuff? Was he really abducted, or is he a great author? Did he really think it happened? Did he psych himself into it? Or both? That's the X-Files, really popular stuff. Is there a great pyramid in Ohio? I think the entire city of there's an entire city of Ohio that's built like the Masonic compass thing. It's really cool. So yeah, then there's a lot of Pythagorean symbols. I believe that popular pentagram thing that is ultra popular in the States now. Everybody has that. Some of it's dark stuff. Some of it's the Wicca people claim it's not. They say it's not. Let me know if you want to give me a shout about what that is. But I believe that comes from Pythagoras, so it's ancient Greek coming over here stuff. A lot of the triangle that people have as a symbol everywhere for the United States, Novo Oris Seclorum, Virgil sayings from Virgil. It referred to these things. It's a sun tent or something, and then there's the capstone. It's just people are obsessed about it. It's when you see it, it's got a power to it because it's a symbol. And as Jung said, we think in symbols. Man is simple. Charles Fort said we're all a bunch of hypnotics. Man is that way, and he said that we use terminology to tuck away this kind of stuff that we don't really want to talk about. Is there a Bigfoot? What do you want to do? Talk about Bigfoot? People think you're an idiot. I don't know what you guys think. Any Bigfoot? I guess all these kind of topics are kind of housed in there's clicks. In other words, there's a Bigfoot click that says this is only what it is. I don't know if they've just said that famous film from 1967. Everybody refers to that. He's walking. That kind of looks like the old school $6 Million Man Bigfoot guy, which I think was played by Jaws, the guy with the big teeth, man, from Moonraker. Remember him? I think he passed away. Bless him. Bless him. The Native American Indians said that that they saw little men with wide eyes. There's a name for it. The little people. They said they confronted it. So they say. Appearance versus reality. Have you guys seen anybody? Have you seen some of this stuff, man? All around the country, there's the Gaia thing. I prefer to kind of take what I know about the little I picked up, or what I've picked up. Not exactly the little, but what I've semi-researched on Native Americans. I like their view of the Gaia thing, the Earth Force thing that we all know is there. There's supposed to be rocks that have shapes of faces. Is it just a coincidence? I witnessed one in Arizona on the way to Sedona. Sedona itself, with the red rocks, got a lot of power to it, obviously, so it's mystical. It gives that feeling. How much of this stuff is a put on, and how much of it is real? One of the wildest points is they say that a lot of these things are spotted during the ladies' time of the month. So Bigfoot is seen by ladies who are having their period. Makes sense. Maybe he doesn't like it. Maybe he likes the smell. I don't know. That's pretty freaky. That's PG-13. Maybe I'll have to make this one 21 plus. Also, during amorous activity, people spot Bigfoots, UFOs, Loch Ness Monster scenarios. That guy Steve Quale talks a lot about giants. I guess there's been allegedly sites of giant bones. I believe also the reverse, the little guys' sites. Are they hoax or not? I don't know. You know, do you buy it? Have you seen one? Have you seen a UFO? Let's Dosh know. When you were in love, together, out there, did you witness a UFO? They say that the original idea of a woman wearing a headscarf is to protect against the angels, you know, and people now have a lot of different opinions on what angels are. Like in that movie Constantine, you know, they're not portrayed as very nice in that, you know. Tilda Swindle, how do you say her name? She's awesome. She plays Gabrielle in Constantine. Pretty interesting. A movie of deep symbolism, that movie Constantine, definitely. Some of it pretty dark, some of it very encouraging. Indeed. Bigfoot. Have you seen one? Have you seen the Yeti? Have you been to Mongolia? Did you spot one? Did you have tea with them in Mongolia? So Fort is always interesting. We get a lot of this from him. The solstice, the summer solstice, the equinox. The Sumerian people, according to Zachariah Stetchin, they were able to spot that we were, you know, the seventh planet from the sun. How did they know? They had ability, you know. Stonehenge is said to be that type of thing, or you know, the sun, the equinox, the seasons. How did they get those stones into that formation? You know, was it aliens? I don't know. Some of that aliens thing, like about, is I think saying that people like the Egyptians and down in the Yucatan Peninsula didn't have that. I think it could be, anything's possible, but I tend to think it's just knowledge that's a little bit been lost and regained, and lost and regained, and those structures are impressive, and I don't think, historically speaking, that technological advancement is linear. That's what I think it's about. You know, they say that some people say the pyramid is actually much larger underneath. You know, they had respect for the dead and the king. That's my view of it. So sorry, this is rambling, but the great god Pan. Bill Hicks used to do a very adult, funny version of Pan, the god Pan with the flute. Fertility symbols still reign supreme in America today. I've talked about that before. I've got some YouTubes of obelisk and stuff. So what's the real meaning? There's one we just walk by them and, you know, nobody cares, nobody asks questions. I think that's my bit. So if you make fun of somebody about Bigfoot, you're just saying it doesn't exist. Maybe you don't know shit. Maybe the guy talking about has seen him. It's a fascination, definitely. I think they've even got footprints, you know. People are also very clever about hoaxing, too, you know. I think the crop circles have come out as hoax, but the geometric superiority of those is evident too. So crop circles, that's in the mix. Some of the materials I'm going to old school I just thought because maybe nobody's talking. I mean, if you got some links to some more new school stuff, the metals within the stone structures, I think, is connected to a guy, Mudfossil University. Do I agree with everything he says? No, but he's interesting as heck. All right. Do I know? I mean, maybe he's right, maybe he's not. It's worth checking out. I think he even says that. But Jim, whatever his name, Braden, I'll leave his spelling in the line notes that I'm referencing some of my ideas in this vlog from, talked also about interesting metal within stone structures and things like that. And I guess archaeologists and historians and scientists are allegedly, they don't like the idea of saying that the mounds connected to something else. I don't know. I don't know if they can account for everything that's in it, or they just know. Is carbon dating? Can they tell everything? Do they know everything? And they're poo-pooing the idea of this poo-pooing. I hate that word for some reason, but that there was earlier structures. I think up in Rhode Island there's an admitted one that's a Viking one, but I don't know. If you're Native American, let me know what you think. I say that the Native Americans developed their own wonderful system, but that doesn't preclude the fact that others traveled over here. The names for the smaller people, we just assume that they didn't exist. Or the wide-eyed guys that look like aliens. I've heard that the Greys are really smaller than that, and they have that suit, and that's what you see. I've got a video on here of one of the top comedians that had a bad experience with confrontation with alien experience. He was hot, and he won the Boston comedy contest, or comedy riot, maybe WBCN back in the day. He was somewhere in between a Stephen Wright and a Emo Phillips in style in comedy. I'll leave that YouTube in the liner notes too. I don't necessarily agree with the opinions with the authors or the subject matter. I just don't like when people just go, "You're a tinfoil hat, dickhead, and you didn't see anything," and whatever. Or Joe Rogan, the comedian, talks about accessing DMT, and it's helped him. And it looks like he has discipline, so I think he uses marijuana to a level, and he's discussed his LSD use, DMT. Maybe it's something that people should be accessing. Maybe it's not good. Maybe he's not telling everything. I don't know. Let me know, Joe. Yeah, right. But his podcasts are huge, and so he has a theme. He also addresses real science too. So he is talking real science. With Steve Pinker on his show. I'm going more to the basically organic strange stuff. In other words, the Earth is alive, and it operates as an energy force. I do believe in chi. On my next vlog, I'm gonna do more about chi, and I'm also gonna be teaching some qigong. If you saw my other ones, I've gone over some basic meditation concepts and bagua mera and things like that. This to me is all related. It's saying that the Earth has an energy, and do I agree with the climate change problem? Yeah, I do. I don't know if I'm in favor of the way they're approaching it. I think there's probably a shared thing that it's got to be done more naturally to me. But let me know if you're a climate changer or denier. I want to hear from everybody. Nobody's responded to my videos. Why? Are they too rambly? Let me know. Perhaps I have helped you get sleep by talking about Bigfoot. If you're making out with somebody, be careful in the woods, because Bigfoot might get pissed. I think that's what might be what it's about, man. I don't understand why there hasn't been a more solid Bigfoot major motion picture. If you're out there from Hollywood, contact me. I'll play one of the guys in the Bigfoot movie. the predator, even though he comes from outer space, that theme, it's like it's kind of a Bigfoot-esque. I've heard other writers. I think the guy Quale, who did the Mothman prophecy, talked about these things always exist out there, and you come in contact with a source of radiation, and you temporarily are able to see these entities. In other words, there's no separation. I think Bigfoot himself has been seen, allegedly, with an orb of power in his hand. What is he? Is he of this planet? Is he from another dimension? Or other levels? Just like there's a radio, and you can't see radio waves, but when you access the channel, you're able to hear radio. Well, if you're hit with certain energy, are you able to see other dimensions, or is it this dimension? Or you're able to see that things that exist here that don't really want to be seen, and you get to check it out. They say a lot of people have seen UFOs haven't had good things happen to them. Okay, like Fred, the awesome comedian. I don't know if Joe Rogan's got a podcast that he had. I'll have to look that up. That if people who've done LSD and experienced the DMT, he's definitely done great work, Joe, and with the DMT spirit molecule. Do they access entities, aliens, beings, UFO people, quote unquote, when you access DMT? Are you open up to that? Unless you know what you're doing, like Joe seems to do, maybe you don't want to touch that stuff. Some people report bad experiences of it. If you do enough meditation, do you contact those entities? That's something if you do enough Qigong, if you have prana from yoga practice, that's something I'm going to go into in another vlog. Hey, George Norrie, have Stosh, come on. Let me ramble with you at 3 in the morning. I would love to do that. Anybody, shove my vlog up to him if you like this, my approach. My very ultra open approach. I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm not really buying it either. I am a firm believer that talking openly about these ideas can lead to open up other doors in healing amongst people having conflict, and healing the mind and the body, because you are willing to go into that dark axiom, that space. Talk about the third force, the third way. Is the earth getting literally mad now? Angry? Have you seen those Drudge Report ones about golfers getting attacked by bees? Why are the bees dying? Is it because Stosh and you guys and us are all looking at the internet too much? What is this 5G going to do? Are we seeing too much? Are we seeing with the internet? Are we an avatar of ourselves? Are we liking our internet person avatar? Am I on here? Do I want to talk to you through my camera rather than meet live people? Do you want to do that? Do you want to... Is getting a good selfie more important than going to the real party to you now? Is the real outdoing the unreal? I'm going to be talking about that kind of stuff. There's a book I'm reading right now, Technos. Is your simulacrum of yourself more appealing to you now than your real self? Would you rather watch a Taylor Swift video because I like her? Would you rather look at a video here than go outside? It's so awesome. The singers, the actors, the singers. Netflix and chill. Is that better than going out for a beer with your friends? What's the opportunity cost of that? Or is this a new thing that we got to talk about? Do you see Bigfoot every day? Fred, are you out there? The comedian, give me another shout. I've heard from him before, allegedly. I want to talk to you, man. go on Joe Rogan, or if you don't want to be with Stash, I understand. If you can, I hope you're doing good out there, brother. I got more. I'm going to be hosting a little bit bigger shows and stuff, and the Stash Comedy Jam might be coming back too. Let's see. I don't know. But that's what I want. I want to do weird themes. I want to talk about weird stuff. I want to see people act out in a healthy way their feelings about these subjects instead of tinfoil hatting everybody. Although maybe I should just get one of those. Technos, the singularity, it's coming. Are you ready? Is it real? Is it just going to be for rich people? I really drifted away from the UFOs and Bigfoot. I'm not going that heavy into UFOs until I get straight on that. But this Pan power, the rebirth of Pan. Do the pagan people have everything wrong? Is it good? We have different, or is it never left? What's up the deal with in Manhattan? Have you seen Manhattan? The way the streets line up, this Manhattan-inch or Manhattan solstice. On certain points, the sun matches the streets perfectly, and it just sort of lines up. What's up with that? Did they do that on purpose? Did they design the city of Manhattan on purpose? Did we know where to go because the Indians knew where to go? On Manhattan, the Manhattan Indians on the island. Do you know that the Pentagon is built on a site, an Indian burial site? There's that theme. That was Poltergeist. Do you piss off the Indians or the spirits who are buried at the sites? Poltergeist. Or do they like it? Do they want company? Do you live on top of an Indian burial mound? The energies are out there. To deny that with pure science, with pure inorganic science, not organic science. The bees are dying off. Can we go back to more of the old ways? That's the theme. Is there a third force? Maybe don't be afraid of Pan. Make a friend of him. It's not necessarily anti-Abrahamic religions to talk about the Pan. Or are we going too far? The technical avatar. I'm really rambling, but this is. I'm going to go back to this topic. And George Norrie, give me a shout, man. I'll be on with you, man. Love your show. I miss Art Bell. Like the Joe Rogan podcast, what he's going on with this stuff, he might think I suck at it. I've got the allergies. You guys got allergies? What are you doing for that? Alright. Well, that's about enough vlogging for now. Put this thing on to fall asleep as well. And then shut off the energy source after. I recommend it. Alright. God bless you guys. Take care. And let me think. Jesus. Let me know what you think of my Bigfoot UFO third force thing. I can't talk. I've got the allergies. Give me a break. Take care, guys.